Good morning. How's everybody doing? Sarah here. So time goes on, and I thought I'd talk to you today about shedding our skin and what the energy of the serpent, the snake in shamanic healing, kind of represents. And I guess it's not by chance that we're still going through the Chinese astrology year of the wood snake, because that's all about shedding as well. And we've got another couple of weeks until the 17th of February when it all changes. And as I keep saying, it's really important to just work through that stuff that you don't want to take through with you into the year of the fire horse, which is really fast energy. And anything you're carrying will just be kind of amplified, if you like. So the serpent, through all spiritual traditions, I guess, represents the shedding of past wounds. It's a great healer, the serpent. It was, in the Garden of Eden, the temptation for Adam and Eve. It was the animal that makes us face our deepest fears, if you like. It's also associated with Kundalini energy, so that snaking energy up through your spine to facilitate an awakening. And when the snake sheds its skin, there's a period of time when it's completely blind, where the skin is over its eyes, and it hasn't come out of that old skin, and so it can't see. It's blind for a while, and it's incredibly vulnerable. And so, there is a time when we're shedding our old skin, if you like, that we are completely blind as to where this might be taking us, where it might be leading. And it's a vulnerable time, it's scary. We don't know what we're doing. We can't see what path we're supposed to be taking, but we have to trust that we're being held. And we can do that, through whatever practices are in your daily routine, if you like. So the more that we hold space for ourselves in that really dark, unseeing place, the better. And I think especially now, in this dark time of the year, we're all feeling, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm definitely feeling a deep grief in the collective. People are telling me that they feel heavy and saddened by what's going on in the world. And I believe that Grandmother Earth is also shedding at this time. So she's shaking up all that heaviness that she's been holding on to, whether it's the stuff that's going on in the Middle East or, Eastern Europe, the sort of appalling situations that seem to be exploding all the time over the other side of the Atlantic. And we're just shocked and deeply saddened by all of this grief. And it's coming to the surface, as is, information on, or the truth coming out about various, whether it's people in the public eye, or whether it's the things that have gone over on the last 5 years, that is now coming to light, that those people that didn't have any more information 5 years ago are now suddenly being shown that what they thought was truth is no longer truth. And there's a deep grief in that people have been duped, that the governing bodies that we thought were protecting us, if you like, have absolutely no intention of protecting anybody, that they're motivated purely by greed, power, money. And it's it's a really strong feeling to realize that we have been duped all this time. Anyway, getting back to snake, to serpent, that I do think that we're generally feeling this heaviness of shedding those old beliefs in what we thought was true and now isn't true. And this grief of the world feels like our own grief, a sort of a primordial fear, if you like. Kind of might manifest as a heaviness that you can't put your finger on, a deep uneasiness. I mean, it might not come up as sadness that you're experiencing, what's going on in the world. It might just be much more personal. It might just be an uneasy feeling that you have deep inside you. Or we're not, it might come up as we're not living our lives as we would like. So, a discordance somewhere. Maybe we've had to put our dreams on hold, or our self-care has gone out of the window in order for us to survive, whether it's in maybe a work relationship or a personal relationship with family or friends, that you're putting yourself to one side in order to allow others to, not to manipulate you, but to make others happy. You might be feeling the grief of growing old. We're no longer in our, some of you obviously still in your youthful bodies, but as we get older, we see our bodies failing, or our health failing, or those wrinkles that weren't there last year appearing. Or it might manifest in how we're not being met by others, if you like. So other people are not seeing us for who we are. Maybe there's an agenda behind why they want to be our friends, and you're feeling that on a kind of subconscious level, really. It might not have manifested as something you can tangibly word, if you like. You might have grief around the mother-father wound, for example, and that's all coming up now. Or maybe a partner who can't or won't grow with you, that you're becoming more and more aware, and it feels as if your partner is not moving along at the same pace, and that again might not show itself excuse me as something you can put your finger on, but just an uneasiness. Maybe it's the losing of friends. Quite a lot of us lost friends and loved ones in recent years because for whatever reason, for maybe on their part an unwillingness to see what was going on, but nevertheless that causes huge grief when you're unable to connect with people that you've been connected with for so long. There may be ancestral grief coming up at this time, things that we've been carrying in our DNA that have finally come to the surface for us to heal, so we don't have to carry it any further, and our children don't have to carry it anymore. And once you acknowledge there's this deep unsettling, once you say, okay, yeah, I can see you. I can see that's what it is. I can see that this is a deep grief. It's not me necessarily. It's not the people around me, but it's me witnessing this grief that everybody is holding, that the earth is holding. And the way to deal with that really is to just slow down and allow it to come up, not to try and force it in any way, not to try and overthink how you're going to make it better or find a solution for these problems, but to just still, as we're in the depths of winter, to just allow all that stuff to wash over you. And if you are in the mind to connect with spirit guides or spirit helpers, finding space to do that, because often they'll send you messages that when you're quiet you can pick up on, and it'll be something maybe that's been buried deep in your past, that you had forgotten about, or you had buried at the time because it was too painful to face. And something might spark a remembrance of that. And it might well be painful that now, 40, 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years later, you're having to face that thing that was very deep within you because it was either too shameful or too painful or whatever. And you can only do that when you're quiet and not overthinking. And the body needs time to integrate the leaving of these past experiences. It doesn't happen overnight. It needs time to shake itself loose. And Mother Earth does that through volcanic eruptions or earthquakes or huge storms, or it's her way of allowing those tears to come, to allow that energy to break free of her body. And we need time to allow our bodies to integrate that deep grief. So, yeah, and the nervous system, in order to go back to factory settings, if you like, needs safety before it can move forward in a new way of being. So we need that time to just allow our nervous system to recalibrate, if you like. I had a really nice experience the other day where I went to a friend for a treatment, and previous treatments with her had been beautifully gentle and relaxing, and I came away feeling more stable, more grounded. Aches and pains were dealt with. But this time this week, and I went again, just thinking, oh well, I just need some calming energy releasing. And actually what happened was pretty intense. And I think, at the end of the session, both my friend and I were quite sort of taken aback about the intenseness of it. I felt huge surges of energy. I also had visions of ancestors moving towards me in their thousands. It was extraordinary. I felt energized and just really as if something major had shifted in my body. And as we were talking afterwards, we both agreed that whatever healing you go for, whether it's, shamanic guidance, shamanic healing, or something like reflexology or shiatsu, or what are all those other, whatever, Reiki, that kind of thing, crystal healing. Basically, what's happening is that, the person facilitating the healing is really just that hollow bone, that hollow tube for spirit to come in and do the healing. And that's what we felt the other day, is that my friend had created the space, the beautiful sacred space that she works in, and she was facilitating this energy coming through to me. So it didn't matter whether she was the reflexologist or she was the shamanic healer or she was the Reiki master. It's creating that space for spirit to do its work, really. And anyway, it was super profound this time for me. And I've been a few days integrating it now, and it has probably unplugged one of the darkest, deepest griefs in my body that I have buried for a very long time, actually. You know, I lost my brother a long time ago, and I didn't really feel as if I'd dealt with that properly, but it wasn't that. It was something else. After that I did from a, well, I'm not going to go into it, but it was something that I buried very deeply because I couldn't face the pain of it, really. And now it's come up for me to re-examine and rethink what it is all about. And I guess this healing session that I had the other day unblocked that, and it has come spilling out. But you know, that's my story. But what I'm trying to relate to everybody is that you know, this is a time to allow that to happen, because we can't take all that stuff with us now. It's time to release everything, and it might be painful and it might be hurtful to do that, but it's a necessary path to walk along if we want to be able to be free enough to travel with this new energy that's coming in. And the fire horse is all about freedom. You know, it's not just about being free from material stuff, being free from people, it's being free from our own wounding, our own grief. So I've whittled on long enough. I probably need to take Rafi out for a walk now. Got the fire going. Oh, amazing. I thank this beautiful fire energy every day when I light it, to say thank you for warming my house. Thank you for the creativity that you bring in. Oh, and also that that clearing that I did this week, that it's allowed room for creativity to come back into me. And because I've been feeling really blocked of recent months. Well, I'd even say, 12 months. Very blocked. So, you know, that shifted all of that. So I'm ready now. I'm ready for that new beginning, that new path, that new galloping into whatever this year brings for us. So I hope that helps a little bit. Please leave a comment if you have anything to share on your healing journey. I'd be really interested to hear what you have to say. And please like and subscribe. It all helps the channel. Thank you so much. Ciao for now.